This episode is brought to you by Febreze, and we're coming to you from the official Febreze-sponsored boot room, which, if you know anything about soccer, is usually the last place you want to hang out. This is What Now with Trevor Noah. In the infamous words of Erling Haaland, well. What a week. Welcome to the podcast, Joe. And welcome to a crazy week of knockout football. We have so many things to get to in this episode. We got to talk about the results. We got to talk about Brazil. We got to talk about the Netherlands. We got to talk about Germany. We got to talk about Norway. We've got to talk about France. We got to talk about Mexico and England. We got to talk about Belgium and the USA. We've got to talk about who else? Who else do we have to talk about?
We have to talk about the African
We have to talk about Argentina and Cape Verde. And we have to talk about France and Paraguay. But let's kick things off with the freshest news.
Oh my God.
You know, they say that football, what makes football such a beautiful game is that it can bring out sides of people we didn't know existed. Who would have thought Team USA would have Donald Trump fighting for a birthright citizen? Huh?
Yes. Balogun.
Who would have
Florian.
thought? Who would have thought? I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy decisions in a World Cup. I don't think since, what was it, like Garrincha, we've seen a decision overruled like this. Team USA player getting a red card, Balogun,
Florian.
for Florian Balogun, which shouldn't have been a red card. We all agree on that.
He was,
we all agree on that.
He was hard done by.
But the World Cup has never cared about what should have or shouldn't have been. The punishment is doled out. You take it. You got to deal with the punishment. You got to deal with the effects. Turns out, if your president is Donald Trump, and if your country is the United States, and if Infantino's in charge, anything is possible. The impossible is possible, my friend.
FIFA is usually like an African parent. Once you've gotten the punishment, you get the punishment.
Oh yeah, that's
you
it.
You can't go like, oh, but can I appeal? But mom, you see, no. You get and then you can talk afterwards. But yeah, what happened with Florian? So we all agreed, hard done by. But political interference into the judicial system of FIFA. FIFA normally comes and takes over your judiciary, not just footballing decisions, but everything from copyright and all this.
Yeah.
And so this was, it's the thing you said, we haven't seen like a country, we haven't seen a host country lean on FIFA like this since 1978, when the dictatorship in Argentina hosted the World Cup, because even people still say actually Holland or the Dutch, led by the famous Johan Cruyff, should have won that final.
Yeah.
But they didn't, because apparently the dictatorship made sure they needed that win, and they leaned on everyone from FIFA down to the referee. That's why people say the first World Cup won by Argentina was very tainted.
I wonder what this does for the conversation around the game. So if you're a Team USA fan, it's great.
Yes, yeah.
I'm happy because I think the red card itself was trash.
Yes, you're saying justice has been served.
Yeah, but then like the way the justice has been served isn't my favorite. You know what it feels like to me? It's almost in many ways like the real justice system, where the rich, powerful kid got off with the crime. But if it was a kid from like a developing nation, a kid who was struggling, they wouldn't have gotten off with this crime.
Yes.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gotten away with it. Because I've always said I would love for FIFA to go over its rulings, because the World Cup has so few games that they should be able to look at a ruling during the match and say, you know what? That decision actually, maybe that was a little harsh. Maybe that decision was wrong. Maybe that decision, I don't think that decisions should be set in stone like law.
Yes. So, okay, two things.
So for me, I don't mind that they did it with Balogun, but I wish they would do it with other games as well.
So for me, two things. One, first of all, FIFA has always insisted that the referee's decision is sacrosanct. It's sacrosanct. It can't be messed with. It stands as it stands, because FIFA has always been very big at empowering the referees. The referees knowing that our decision is final. So that's disappointing from that end. Another reason is FIFA has always insisted that politics and football should be separate.
Yeah.
I think they recently banned one country, I can't quite remember, it wasn't Kuwait or one of the countries. If your government interferes with the FA of your country, FIFA bans you immediately, automatically. If you're because they want the government to not interfere in the running of football in any country.
Yeah.
So again, disappointing on that front. But also third and most importantly, I went to law school. I didn't pick up much, but one thing I picked up was justice cannot just be served. Justice needs to be seen to be served. So you can't just make a decision that it has to be seen. So in this case, if you're, again, as I said, if you're maybe Ghana, or if you're a small emerging African country, or if you're Asia, you're going like, so just because you don't have the clout to lean on Gianni Infantino, we can't get decisions with us. It's very, very disappointing.
You see, the Belgian Football Federation put out a post online. They responded, but all they did was they responded with the rules. Because
that's very petty.
Yeah.
And also very
Belgian.
Yes, very Belgian. Yes.
All they did was respond and say, per the rules, regardless of whether FIFA suspends or doesn't, one match ban has to be served for a red card minimum. The player has to miss the next match.
Yes.
That is the rule. And they cannot change that. And so like it almost feels like FIFA has invented a rule.
Yes.
Just for this scenario. They've gone, we haven't overridden the ref, but we've overridden...
mess with the punishment, yes.
We've overridden the effect of the ref's decision, which is, for all intents and purposes, that is the punishment of the ref.
And I'll say this.
You know what I mean?
Because football has a very cruel and twisted sense of humor. Balogun is going to score in his next game. He might score the winner against Belgium. And now you're going, you know when you watch games and the player who's supposed to have gotten a red card and got away with it, then scores the winner?
And they stay in the game.
Football has such a twisted sense of humor that might happen. Very disappointing, but not unexpected, because we've seen throughout this process. Normally, FIFA is very independent, but we've seen throughout all this process, the Somali referee, the way they treated the Iranian delegation, the visas they kept denying fans from Africa or from smaller countries. We've seen that the US has consistently thrown its weight around. It has consistently bullied FIFA into accepting its decisions. And so for me, when I watched Gianni Infantino at the press conference, when they asked him, aren't you embarrassed by how much you've bent over backwards to accommodate the Trump administration? When I watched him go like, FIFA really cannot be in charge of the immigration system. I wonder, Gianni, are you kidding me? You always take over the immigration system of the country that's hosting. You did it with Qatar when you invented the hire cards, where people would just come in if they had the hire card. You did it with Russia when you invented the fan pass, where fans, so long as they had the ticket, they could just march straight into Russia. So for me, it's been, people say FIFA is always disappointing. So the bar is on the seafloor, but they've managed to somehow dig under and go under the bar. Very disappointing. Not unexpected, very surprising. But, as I told you, I see Balogun scoring against Belgium, and that's just going to add now fuel to the fire.
It's really
enough to leave you speechless. It really is.
Here's what it is for me. I don't expect them to not make certain decisions. I just would have hoped that they would find a way to make the rulings seem a little bit more equally distributed. Like, I would have liked it if FIFA had just put their thumb on the scale for a few more decisions in this World Cup.
I'll say this.
Then we would go, there's a trend, know? Yes. But look, I mean, all it seems like to me is we've realized that FIFA's real kryptonite, or rather their weakness, is not the power of the country that's hosting the tournament. It's the power of the market that the country has.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Explain.
Because if you think about it, you have FIFA will host its tournament anywhere. Brazil, France,
it has its speak,
South Africa, you name it. There's only one nation in the world where football is nowhere in terms of market share, right? And it's the United States. The United States is one of the biggest markets in the world. Look at how much NFL players earn. Look at how much NBA stars earn.
Baseball.
They are shocked when they see the followings that football players have in the world. Like whenever an American athlete sees how popular and how big a footballer is worldwide, they're shocked when they realize sometimes they're earning 3 times their money.
Not just sports or ball players. Everyone. I remember when there was the whole fight about who is bigger, Taylor Swift or Messi or Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Who is bigger, Beyonce? Beyonce fans were shocked when people were posting like Instagram followers for Ronaldo. They went like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's that. But for me, the one thing I want to say though, for me, this even goes outside. So you're saying FIFA is desperately trying to tap into the American market. I get that. But for me, this goes outside football. It's way bigger than football. Because if the US can throw its weight around at the UN and make the UN bend its rules in a way South Africa can't, in a way Uganda can't, in a way Curacao can't, then what's FIFA? The US can veto things. The US can do whatever it wants at the UN.
But that is what the big countries do at the UN, not just the United States.
Okay, no, you're right.
You get what I'm saying? That's exactly what they do at the UN.
Okay, you're right.
At the UN, if you're not one of the
Russia,
major countries,
China, yeah.
you can veto any bill that another country or another, whatever motion another country wishes to pass. It's up to you.
But you're saying when it comes to football, particularly.
Yes. What I'm saying is, we make it seem like FIFA, like the US leaned on FIFA. I think people are making it seem like FIFA bowed to the US, and I argue Donald Trump and Infantino, it's just quid pro quo. They've gone, this works for both of us.
The interests
Let's keep it going. Trump is going, keep America and its fans happy. Infantino's going, yeah, I actually do want America to stay happy because America has paid so much money. How many ads is Christian Pulisic in?
Oh my God!
Think about how much money.
I think it's between him and David Beckham.
Yeah,
I can't
David
turn
Beckham,
on the screen.
David Beckham.
Without
David Beckham.
Beckham is just.
David Beckham.
He's American by now. Yes.
I was counting his ads.
Oh my God!
It starts in the morning with like coffee and breakfast.
He wakes you up.
And then in the middle of the day, it's like Bank of America and Home Depot. And then by the end of the day, it was like Lenovo AI and Stella Artois.
He's in every block,
Every block has David. You'd swear David Beckham's playing now, by the way.
Yes.
With how popular it is. Like, I've never seen anything like it. But Christian Pulisic is another one. And Team USA is another one. Like, if you think of the value and like how much this is worth, not just in money now, but like in value of the game, think about the MLS. Like, if we think of this in isolation, I think we can miss the forest from the trees.
Okay.
The longer Messi stays in the World Cup, the better it is for the MLS.
That's true.
The longer the Mexican players stay in the World Cup, the better it is for the MLS.
Yes.
The longer any of these teams, but the longer Team USA stays in the World Cup, although they have 8 players from Europe, they've also got other players, but now they can say they went into the whatever stage, the World Cup player, it adds value to the MLS. So that adds, like, it's that, what is it, rising tides? All boats.
All boats, all boats, yes.
So if you think of the value this is adding to the US, I can see it from everybody's point of view. Gianni Infantino's going, I can't let this thing...
It's insane.
I can't let this thing cock block all the money I want to make.
It's insane to your point that you're saying, because yesterday I was watching Morocco. I made the mistake. Sorry, I apologize. I made the mistake of watching the Morocco versus Canada game on Fox, and Morocco scored, and the commenter went like, Morocco takes the lead on this 4th of July holiday. And I went like, what? What does 4th of July have to do with Morocco at all? But it's the thing you're saying. That it's more profitable to see everything through the prism of the US, yes.
It's actually funny. If I was to bet, I would have said that Canada will get knocked out first of all the host nations.
Oh, okay. It would have been spot on. They were the first ones.
Because they just seemed like, I know it's a stereotype, but like the most polite host nation in a way. Because I don't know if you've seen, like, by the time this episode comes out, England will have played Mexico. But did you see what
we're tapping it right before?
Did you see what the Mexico fans were doing outside the England team hotel?
Classic.
Shooting fireworks.
Classic.
Playing music, screaming at them in the lobby.
Trying to ensure that they don't sleep the night
before. We just don't want you to sleep.
It was crazy because I've seen Eastern European clubs do that, club fans, but I've never seen a country do that, a host country. So what happened actually was England booked 15 hotels to throw them off.
Which is pointless.
To throw them off. They went like, we don't want them to know where we're staying.
Yes.
But then remember, the hotel that they booked in, I feel like the hotel manager had a patriotic duty to snitch.
But Joe, you don't even need to snitch. If you've been to a World Cup, you know every single team moves around like a diplomatic delegation.
Yes.
It's hard to sneak around when you've got a giant bus written England on it,
and also with lead cars,
with like police cars. Then I wonder which hotel they're at. Is it the one that has a giant bus with police escort, or is it the hotel where nobody's there?
Yes.
Where do you think England is staying?
Yes. No, the Mexican fans really brought it because they spent. I don't think any English player slept a wink, unless you're one of those players who can sleep through like the apocalypse.
Yeah, man,
Because
like,
it was insane outside the hotel. Yes,
man.
you should see the videos.
And
yeah.
speaking of insane, whew, if we look at some of the results, Germany, since we last recorded an episode, knocked out. And you know what? For me, it's the full sentence. Not just knocked out by Paraguay, knocked out in penalties.
Penalties, the most un-German-like way to go out. Yes, I'll say this: we both did favor Germany for that matchup, but we both also did say Germany was in transition. Germany was having an identity crisis. And for me, when I watched that game, especially the penalty shootout, I couldn't believe this was Germany, because you saw the videos that came out afterwards. Joshua Kimmich trying and begging and pleading
begging players to take the
with
kick.
Leon Goretzka, who has won a Champions League, has almost 80 caps, begging him to take a penalty. He refused.
So
Jonathan Tah had to step up, take his first penalty ever.
But here's my
Yes.
question. Maybe I don't know when the game changed this. When I first started watching football, penalty takers were decided before game started.
That's
right?
You're very right. You're very right.
So the coach, long before the game started, knew, like literally,
Knew
they
at
knew,
least his
they
first
knew
five,
coming
yes.
into the game. The way I understand football, a coach knows who's going to kick. By the way, penalties even in the match, no one should discuss anything. They go, first kicker is this one, second kicker might be this one, third kicker.
They know who takes corner kicks and free kicks.
So
and
if we get 3 penalties in a match, this is going to be the order. And then when we go to a shootout, this is the order. So to me, I couldn't believe that the German captain was begging his play. The man looked like he was selling like goods in a flea market.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to say he looked like a guy. You know those activists handing out flyers at the subway.
It was worse.
Greenpeace.
Yeah, but it was
and everybody's
worse.
just like,
no, but there at least the people have
people
the
can
power.
engage with you. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
man. The man was begging people, said, "Please buy the please." And
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what
man.
I think happened. So I think this is what happened. I think Germany were a bit like us. I think they thought this wouldn't go to penalties, which is very irresponsible and very un-German, because you
It's
have
a
to
World
plan.
Cup.
You have to plan for every
a World Cup.
eventuality.
You got to plan for everything.
But also, I grew up with a German team, and I told you this.
Man,
the current generation of
killers.
the current generation of German players are what I call, and you laughed, but I call them walk footballers. They are too soft and too pretty for their own good. So when I was growing up, you remember Klinsmann, Oliver Bierhoff, Ruud Vora. When I watched Euro '96 against England, the semi-final,
Man, German penalty
they
takers.
played
German penalty
at Wembley.
takers. Oh.
And German penalty, stone cold killers, they scored 5 out of 5. Stefan Reuter, Thomas Strans, who are the others?
You don't even have to go over that
Andreas
far. You don't even
Moller,
have to go over that far back.
Christian Ziga.
You don't even have to go that far back. Miroslav Klose, Thomas Müller,
Killers.
Mario Gomez.
You didn't have to ask those guys who's going to take a penalty. They were all.
Who did you want to face with those? You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying back then, because again, I remember that team, Christian Ziga, Andreas Moller scored the winning penalty against England at a packed Wembley when everyone was singing "It's Coming Home." And you know what he did? He strutted around like a peacock. Packed Wembley. This guy had no fear. And so I'm saying back then, you didn't even have to ask the Germans who's going to take a penalty. All of them would be volunteering. All of them would be putting their hands up.
What do you think's happened?
I think what happened to German football is what's happening.
No. In general, what has happened to penalty takers, or penalty taking? Is it that, because I wrestle with this. I'm like, have players become, I was really trying to break this down, and I was like, is this like the Roberto Baggio effect? Is this like a second system effect? You and I grew up at a time when Roberto Baggio was widely considered the best footballer in the world when he was playing, right?
Incredible player.
He was the best. He was a number 10. He ruled the game. Every kid was trying to grow their hair into a ponytail.
The divine ponytail, yes.
Yeah, to try and match him. He goes to the final.
Drags Italy, kicking and screaming.
Drags Italy to the final.
To the final, yes.
And in the final, it's a penalty shootout. And he has to kick.
The final kick against Brazil.
And he's...
Fun enough, USA 94.
Yeah. And he boots that ball, skies
into
it.
The skies, into the sky.
He kicks that. He misses that penalty so badly that his name is essentially forgotten.
He became a byword for a missed penalty.
From the halls of fame. No one really speaks about him. If you talk to any footballer, any people today, when you talk about football,
they're like, oh, the guy, yeah.
When you say Baggio, they're like, if they know him, they go, the guy who missed the penalty,
yes.
or they don't talk about him at all, which is pretty crazy. His career disappeared pretty much after that.
He did redeem himself in 98 because he scored a penalty in 98. But and then they used him in the John Walker ad.
The making up for it. Yeah,
yes, maybe that's a deep cut for a soccer, but they're gonna keep walking even if you miss. But I think that's a deep cut.
But what I'm saying is though, like, I wonder if that moment lived in the heads of so many players that that generation, when they got to an age where they were now playing the game, they went, the worst thing you can do is miss a penalty. Because, for instance, let's even look recently. Gabriel Martinelli, he has not lived that penalty down. Not him personally, but what I mean is, if you go online, the amount of like memes and jokes that have come out.
Magalhaes of Arsenal.
Gabriel, not Martinelli.
Magalhaes,
Gabriel of Arsenal. Yes, not Martinelli. Gabriel from Arsenal. He misses that penalty
in the Champions League final against
PSG, right? Skies it. If you go online now, there's still those jumps, those jump memes where they make it seem like it's something else, and then all of a sudden it's him missing it. He's become the missing guy in that way. You know what I mean? I almost feel like players would rather let the goalkeeper take the trophy than to be the player who missed it. Because if you let the goalkeeper save it, no one remembers you as the kicker. But if you miss it, no one forgets you as the kicker.
No, but I'll say this. I don't understand why players don't step up, personally. Because when I played, and I didn't play to that level, but when I played, I used to have this mentality of, if someone is going to make the team sad by missing, it would rather be me.
Ronaldo has that attitude.
It would rather be me.
Do you remember that penalty shootout?
When he did
Portugal, when he went and fetched guys off the bench, not off the bench, but off the sideline, and he said, "Come and kick," and he chose, I think it was Neves. I think it was Ruben Neves.
No.
He chose him to take the first kick, like the first kick, and he said, "Ruben, come kick," and Ruben said, "No." And Ronaldo said, "Hey," and then he looked at him. He said, "Hey, you kick really amazingly." He said this all in Portuguese, like, "You're an amazing kicker. Come and kick that ball." He said, "If you miss, you miss. It doesn't matter, but go out there, be brave, kick the ball." And it was amazing to see like that Cristiano Ronaldo said this, because you saw that attitude.
I think he has learned from his lesson, because Ronaldo, I think 3 times in his career now, I've seen him want to take the 5th penalty, and it didn't reach there.
Yeah.
And his team lost because he was waiting. Messi always takes the first penalty. Miss or not miss, he always takes the first penalty.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because you need to set the tone. So me, when I was playing, and again, I didn't play at a high level, I used to go like, I would rather miss than Trevor misses, and then I spend the whole night going like, maybe if I had taken, they do great things. So for me, I would rather you step up, because now Leon Goretzka will keep asking himself, maybe if I'd taken instead of Jonathan Tah, maybe. So I don't like maybes. Step up, take the penalty.
Here's another question I have. Like, staying in the world of penalties, why are the Dutch so bad at penalties? And what I mean by this is, like, this is not the first World Cup where the Netherlands has gotten knocked out in penalties. Like, what is it about penalties that the Dutch, are they just unlucky? Is it not something that is, I don't get it. Like, we can go back in time to the greatest
they lost
Dutch
98
teams.
Against Brazil.
They lost
penalties,
in 2000 and
they lost against Qatar, against Argentina. I think it's a national, for me, and that's why I was surprised by Germany, because I think penalties have a national character attached to them. There are teams who are killers when it comes to penalties. For the longest time, Germany were, and England sucked at penalties for the longest time. So I don't know with the Dutch. I was surprised that Van Dijk didn't step up.
Everyone was.
He has missed penalties, yes. Messi has missed more. You always joke about this.
Messi,
you always tell me Messi needs to work on penalties.
Yeah.
But Messi still steps up every time.
He does.
Van Dijk, as a leader, you need to step up. Why is Bruno Guimaraes taking a penalty?
I still don't get that, man.
Why?
I don't know what Brazil...
Vinny, you're on the pitch. You're the leader. Step up, take a penalty. Zidane always stepped up. As a leader,
but now we were watching this game together, Brazil versus Norway. I didn't see a moment where there was confusion. It didn't seem like Vinny didn't step up.
He actually held the ball. Yes,
it seems like he was there holding the ball.
You're right.
It almost seems like Bruno Guimaraes was like, no, I'm supposed to kick this.
He was a designated, you're right.
And then again, maybe I don't know things, but in my head, I just don't understand why your striker is not kicking the penalty.
You're right.
Like for me, I just feel like a player, a forward who spends more time kicking a ball in a box
the net,
is the player I would choose to kick it.
You're very right.
That's why with Belgium, you could even see there was like so much tension when Tielemans took the ball and said, "I'm kicking it." People around him were like, "What are you doing?"
And he's a great so when I was playing, and this is how we used to look at it, and I agree with you. When I was playing, the most technical players, the technicians, are the ones who should take penalties first. So the strikers, then you come down to the to the midfielders, and then defenders, and then keeper last. Keeper last.
Yeah.
So when you see so many defenders stepping up, there's a problem with that team because technicians can pass the ball into the net.
Yeah.
Technicians spend the whole time trying to pass the ball into the net. A defender, what do they spend most of their time doing?
Yeah, they kick the ball as far as they can and as high as they can.
Trying to not put the ball in the net.
We saw the Australian kid do that, the 18-year-old.
He stepped up.
But we even saw the first guy do that as well.
Ayo Sata. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him.
Great game. He was immense.
He also booted it out. I don't understand why.
Gabriel Magalhaes did. That's what they call it these days.
You see, he's Gabriel did. We're coming to you from a boot room sponsored by Febreze, which, if you know anything about soccer, is usually the last place you'd want to hang out. Because this is where all the gear lives. The cleats, the jerseys, the socks, the bags, everything that probably never sees a washing machine until it's too late. But right now, it actually smells fresh in here. That's because Febreze fabric is built for exactly this kind of odor. The stuff trapped in fabrics that you can't just throw in the wash. It doesn't just cover it up, it actually fights the odor. And I have to say, this is one of the more confident sponsorships I've ever seen. Usually brands want to put their names on the nicest room in the building, the VIP lounge, the luxury suite, the hospitality area. Febreze looked at the boot room and said, no, put us in there. And honestly, I respect that. Because this room contains decades of bad decisions, wet cleats, forgotten gym bags, socks that should have retired years ago. The kind of smells that don't just enter a room, they sign a long-term lease. And yet somehow it smells fresh. Yeah. Can you smell that, Joe?
Smell what?
Exactly! That's what is so impressive about this. Because a lot of the things in here are exactly the things that you can't throw in the wash. None of it. The cleats, the bag, the car seat after practice. That's the whole point. Febreze fabric is for the things the game touches that the washing machine can't. And it's made with no dyes, no formaldehydes, and uses a 100% natural nitrogen propellant. If your soccer gear is starting to smell like its own locker room, it's time for Febreze fabric. It doesn't just mask the odors. It fights them. Find Febreze fabric at Walmart. Let's talk about Brazil. Is it over for Brazil?
I think Brazil,
like in this moment in time, and the reason I asked the question is, and you can ask any if you have but
why do you think it's over?
I'm asking. Okay. I'm not saying it's over. What I'm saying is this is the first time I've seen Brazil where I don't know who's next. I don't know who's in the pipeline. I don't have an obvious idea of where Brazil's next generation is going to come from.
I'm not worried about the next generation.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. They have Endrick, they have Estevao. I think if Estevao was in this World Cup, he would have added a dimension to the attack that they were missing.
Yeah, but what about the midfield?
The midfield is aging. The midfield is killing them. Killing them.
Where's the new midfield?
It's killing them. Brazil has never though.
What about the wing backs?
I'll say this. Okay, I'll say this.
I think you know what you're doing right now.
I'll say Brazil has never really relied on having the flashiest defensive midfielders. Kleberson and Gilberto Silva helped Brazil win the 2002 World Cup because they had Ronaldinho. So what they need is that guy in the hole. Paqueta can't be your guy. And today, because Paqueta was out, who did they play there? You can't play Martinelli in the hole. He doesn't have the vision. He doesn't have the balance. Martinelli is a winger. He can't play in the hole. In the hole, you need a certain finesse, a certain vision, spatial awareness. He doesn't have that. So they're missing that player there. They were able to win the World Cup in 2002 because they had Kleberson, who was good but not spectacular. They had Gilberto Silva, but ahead of them they had Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and R9. Phenomenal. So they need a guy in the hole.
But who did they have as their wing backs?
They're also missing because they produced Carlos and Cafu.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
You're right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're playing Danilo.
If we look at Brazil's game,
yes.
If we look at Brazil as we know it as a team,
flying
yes, they've not focused on defense, but the wing backs, They've created the most legendary wing backs.
They'll kill you, yes.
They've created the most legendary wingers, and they've created the most legendary forwards or attackers.
Yes. That's how they've won the 5. Yes, the 5 stars on their shirt.
Now, I don't know any Brazilian wing backs who
the
are
fact that
special.
they're playing Danilo, 600-year-old Danilo at this point in time.
600-year-old.
It should be in a nursing home.
Oh, man.
You're very right.
600-year-old
You're very right.
Danilo.
A country that gave us Macon, that gave us Dani Alves, that gave us Cafu, that gave us Roberto Carlos, to go back in time that gave us Carlos Alberto, is now playing Danilo. It's a damning indictment on Brazil.
Yeah, but you know what we also got to talk about is the other side of the coin, Norway.
Frankly, I called it, and I know it sounded crazy when I said Norway would win. But Norway, I knew Norway would win because one.
No, it didn't sound crazy though.
Joe,
it didn't. No, but let's be honest, it didn't sound crazy.
Okay.
If anyone who knew football, it didn't sound crazy. But what sounded crazy was the idea that like Brazil wouldn't, even in the game. Let's say Norway won. Like when we were talking about, I said 2-2. I didn't even say that.
You said that would be goals.
The fact that you said 2-1, the fact that I said 2-2,
you knew that would be goals.
Tells us that we both didn't assume that Brazil was going to win the game in that way, right? But I don't think anyone thought Brazil was going to fold the way they did. But on the other side, Norway is playing a type of football that almost feels deceivingly good, if there's such a thing.
Deceptively good. You're right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, deceptively good. You know what I mean?
I'll say this. So part of the reason I fancied Norway is Norway has a very good front three. Nusa, Haaland, and Soloth. When I
don't know about Soloth. You keep saying
no,
man.
But when I saw, my point was Nusa. I knew Nusa was going to expose Danilo, and I knew
you didn't call that. The thing that Nusa's dynamic, man.
But the thing that made me fancy Norway even more is I knew that when Soloth eventually comes off, Oscar Bob is coming on. Oscar Bob is your boy.
Yeah,
you love him.
Yeah.
Then I knew that on the left, when Nusa comes off, they're bringing on Andreas Schelderup.
Yep,
I've seen Schelderup kill teams in the Champions League. He's a 23-year-old kid, but he plays for Benfica and he's incredible. And so I knew that when Schelderup comes up against Danilo, after Nusa has run him ragged, he's going to kill them. And Schelderup came on, created 2 goals. So for me, when I looked at the benches, I said, Brazil, who do you have coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Endrick and Neymar. I said, Norway, who do you have? I went like, Norway has 2 killers coming off the bench. That's why I fancied. Plus the midfield battle, but that's why I fancied.
What they also really have that gets overlooked, they have a structurally solid defensive line. Like their Norway's defense is focused, is together.
No names, by the way. All of them no names.
Yeah, all no names.
No names, yeah. You can't pick them out of a police lineup. But,
yeah. But
also because they can never be in a police lineup because they are white. But they're white blonde men. They will never be in a police lineup. Yes.
But they play like a solid, boring, good football at the back.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about Norway that also is, and I know we might be getting into this later, or maybe this is a good segue. I'm going to tell you something about Norway that reminds me so much of Cape Verde.
Yeah.
They're a team who are like brothers. They will lay their body on the line.
That's true.
For themselves. So for me, they remind me of Greece in Euro 2004. Greece was unfancied coming to the tournament. Otto Rehhagel, the iconic German manager, got this Greek team of dreamers.
Yeah.
And they were fighting. Like, you posted the Sparta meme. The Sparta meme.
Yeah.
But this was real Sparta. Theos Zagorakis, Sterios, Angelo Kaisteas. This was a team of like dreamers who hadn't had like great footballing careers at their clubs.
Yeah.
And my friend, they came in, beat Portugal in the opening game, beat France in the quarterfinals. They were winning 1-0, met Portugal again. Portugal was hosting, beat them again in the final, and they were just fighting for each other. When you saw that Cape Verde team, they don't have a star. They don't have a star name. Their only star name is, I think, Vozinha, who is a goalkeeper, and maybe Pico Lopez.
Yeah, but that's not even that. To your point, they're not stars.
They fight for each other.
Yeah.
These are guys who are, so Norway, when you look at that Greek team of Euro 2004, and when you look at Cape Verde, these are guys who have bonded. These are guys who are going to be brothers. 80 years from now, they'll be meeting. They'll be in the same WhatsApp group. You know when they're going to have a WhatsApp group for forever? These are guys who have bonded. And teams like that in a tournament are a menace. Because when you can trust the man on your, like they say in 300, when you can trust the man on your left to never run, then when you know, like if the flank collapses, the whole team collapses, these guys fight for every ball. Cape Verde made Argentina earn every goal. Every goal.
Even
There were no gifts.
every goal that Argentina scored, except the last one, which was that's where just like football and it's luck.
That header was going out, by the way. It was going out.
Messi's goal
It had to be perfect.
was so good. It was so good for so many reasons. First of all, it's good because you watch Messi start the play. He's facing his team. He's standing on the edge of the box. He's walking with the back line. He starts orchestrating his players and starts moving the ball around from his position. He's not on the ball.
He's not on the ball, yes.
He's just pointing, telling people what to do. Very Pedri-esque.
Yeah, very yes.
You know, he's just telling people what to do, where to move, how to play. And then in a split second, the centre back takes his eye off Messi.
Runs back on side.
Messi runs back on side, then runs to get the ball. Traps that ball on a half
First
volley.
touch had to be perfect.
That was beyond perfect.
Oh my God.
And then flicks it at the goalie's head.
Because the keeper has to, they flinch every time.
At an angle where you just don't think that's going to happen. Gets the goal. Now you're like, oh, okay, this is now Argentina.
Before you go
unlocked.
on, Zlatan said that, and I think they teach it everywhere. If you're a striker, smash that ball at the keeper or just put it, because naturally, they have to flinch. No keeper is going, the natural body reaction when something is coming at it is to do this.
So I have a different opinion on that, funny enough.
Okay, but first go, because
I don't think goalkeepers are necessarily flinching. I think goalkeepers spend so much time practicing choosing a side.
Okay.
They never think up is the side. So when you shoot a ball, they're
left
always
or right,
left or
down,
right.
yes, okay, yeah.
But very seldom are they thinking it's coming like straight here. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but I interrupted you. I was going like, okay, so after Messi scores,
we now think
it's done.
the layman would now think,
It's done.
oh, okay, the game's done.
Yeah, put a fork
Now-
in them. Yeah,
yep.
that's what. Put a fork in Cape Verde. They are done. But this is Cape Verde.
Cape Verde not only comes back, they play a beautiful football. They don't pull like a haram ball. They're not just kicking the ball over the top. They're not just like spamming crosses. No. They move the ball. They pass the ball. They play the ball. They move the ball. They pass the ball. They come back. They get a goal.
Not just a goal. They nutmegged two defenders. The first pass
was beautiful.
nutmegged Medina. The shot into the goal, nutmegged Lisandro.
The second one was more lucky. No. It was more lucky.
I don't think it was.
It was more lucky.
I don't think it
the
was.
The first one was very much a nutmeg.
Yes, but I don't think it was. When I watched Duarte shoot that ball,
Really?
I don't think it was, man. Like I watched it, he didn't just shoot, because sometimes players shoot and inshallah.
Okay, got it.
They shoot and in hope and go like,
Yeah.
let me just shoot and inshallah. He, like you could see him, nutmegging two great defenders like that is never by luck. I was impressed. I thought both Cape Verde goals, brother, you can't take anything away from them.
Then
Brilliant.
you go to the other side of the field. Argentina has the ball again. Lisandro Martinez gets it.
Strikers finish.
You're like, oh, what's he gonna do?
He's a defender.
He's a defender.
Yes.
It's on his left foot. Okay, I don't know what he scores a banger again. Similar top corner
Up. Yes, you're right.
in the top. Vozinho not there for it.
Kind of expected though, because he learned his trade. Martinez, Lisandro, they call him the butcher.
Yeah.
But people forget he learned his trade at Ajax. You don't play for Ajax if you're not technically sound.
Oh, I didn't think of that actually.
If you're Ajax doesn't just sign anyone. You have to be technically sound on the ball. So he has scored some bangers.
He has.
Lisandro. But yeah, you're saying,
you go, the
he
game's
scores.
over.
Yeah, again.
And then Cape Verde comes along, strings together. What was it, like 15, 20 passes?
20 passes, yes.
Coming up the field, moving the ball beautifully.
Incredible build-up.
Argentina chasing shadows. Argentina chasing shadows. You see them running from the top right corner of the box. Cape Verde passes it forward. The man brings it down, brings it
move
around.
Yeah,
they move. They switch positions. They slowly come creeping down the left side of the field. They move the ball. You think, okay, there's nothing. What are they going to do here? And then the left winger gets the ball.
1-on-1 with McAllister.
But
Shake of the hips.
But so far away from the goals that the worst you're thinking is a good cross. And that
you're praying
man,
for a good cross, yes.
That man,
A shake of the hips.
He released
He sent McAllister back to Buenos Aires.
a banger.
My God. I'll tell you.
Goal of the World Cup.
I'll tell you two things about it. An instant contender for goal of the year.
That's goal of the World Cup.
Yes, no, goal of the year. You know the award, the famous award
Yeah.
that they give out, goal of the year, the Pushkas
Yeah.
from Ferenc Pushkas. immediate container, just not because of the goal, by the way.
The whole
they
play.
build up.
Yeah. And the team
that
they were
shot had
up
to be
against.
perfect.
Yeah, and the
It had to be
moments.
perfect. I'll say two things about that game. One, that goal that you've just described reminded me so much of the goal Saudi Arabia scored against Argentina to win in 2022. It was almost the same goal. Into the top corner.
Yeah.
Al-Dawasri, sorry. And then the goal Messi scored reminded me so much of a similar goal that Messi scored against Nigeria. If you remember, Messi checked. It was at 2018 World Cup, the one that had Diego Maradona praying to the gods.
Yeah.
Messi checked, ball over the top. That time, I think it was the great midfielder. I'm blanking on his name. Ball over the top, brought it down, and he was off to the races. But again, Cape Verde can take it. Even the celebration from that goal makes it for me Pushkas. Because he didn't just celebrate. He ran to the crowd and looked for his girlfriend.
He was, that moment, I thought the guy was he forgot there was a game.
He forgot. He stopped the game, brother. He stopped because they were waiting for him.
He forgot there was a game. He forgot that he had teammates.
Yes.
He could not believe what he had experienced.
No, I was reading their story. It's a beautiful story because he was playing in the German 3rd division.
Yeah.
Just I think 18 or so months ago. This guy has stood by him. It was a great moment. And I'm not even a romantic like that. I'm a cynical football fan. I'm a cynic. I don't have a tender spot in my heart, but that really, really did bring a tear to your eye.
I saw the rumors. Fabrizio Romano said apparently Inter Miami might be signing Vozinha.
They should. He was incredible.
That would be amazing.
He's the Messi stopper.
Can I tell you, man?
He's the Messi stopper.
But
they better sign him.
I also think that would be like a beautiful.
He's
it's
40.
just a wonderful reward for a player.
I saw him with the jersey with David Beckham. It would be great. He's 40. He would earn some good money.
Yeah,
he's a star. He's definitely a star.
I mean,
social media.
He's got 20 million followers now on social media.
Yeah, he would be good. But the thing I loved about that game, Trevor, even if they lost, Cape Verde, those players, first of all, will never buy a dinner or buy a beer in Cape Verde ever again. Chances are their grandkids will never buy a beer. If you represent your country like that, if you make your country that proud.
Yeah.
Because now everyone knows what Cape Verde is. Actually, for me, if they had dumped out Argentina, they came close, but for me, that would have been the biggest upset since Cameroon beat Maradona's Argentina in 1990. It was incredible. It was a beautiful game. It was the game of the tournament.
Were you sad because on the one hand you've got your GOAT Messi, on the other hand you've got Cape Verde who you've been pushing from the beginning of the tournament? Are you happy with the results?
I'm happy with the result because I want Messi to win back-to-back championships. But if they had lost, for me, I've told you this, Trevor, and you asked, and you did say that me, when Barcelona loses, I never get down. It's because for me, when you beat a team with Messi, you've earned the victory. I love Messi. I support Messi. But Messi is such a good player that if you beat him, I can never be sad. I go like, you've earned it. Because it takes a special team to beat Messi. When Liverpool beat us 4-0, when Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0 and they came back from a 3-0 down, I went like, fair play. Because I love the game. I love Messi, but I love the game of football more than Messi.
Let's talk about another player that you love talking about, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
In our last episode, we said something that I would argue has now proved to be true. Mm-hmm. We said, if Portugal wants to go through, by hook or crook, Ronaldo's going to have to be off the field. Portugal was playing against Croatia.
Yes.
It was a tense match where Portugal never looked like they were going to pull away. They get awarded a penalty. Cristiano Ronaldo steps up, takes the penalty brilliantly.
Yes.
Scores the penalty.
High-pressure penalty.
Yeah, scores the penalty. But then again, the match goes back to a tense game where anything can happen.
Croatia could have won it. Mateo Kovacic.
Yeah.
With that run.
Kovacic made a crazy run.
Hit the post, yes.
And then Portugal's coach, Roberto Martinez,
that woke him up.
Makes a ballsy decision, substitutes Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'm sure you remember the moment.
Yes, I remember.
Anyone who was watching it will remember this moment. Ronaldo looks up at the boards showing who's being substituted. He looks at the sideline. He looks at the boards. He looks around him. And you can see he's going, guys, I think this is a malfunction because I see my number.
Yes.
But there is no world
in which
I would be getting substituted.
When the team needs a goal.
Yes.
When your team needs a goal.
He looks up, he looks down, he looks up, he looks around.
He was in disbelief.
He's almost waiting for someone to say, sorry, that not your 7, another number 7. He comes off the field, doesn't throw a tantrum to his but you can see he's in disbelief though. He has like a Okay, I guess.
I guess that happened, yes.
I guess that happened. And then a few moments later, Portugal gets their goal. Rafa Leao swings across
Your
in.
boy. He had swung crosses in for
And he had
Ronaldo.
swung. Yo, man,
Yes.
Ronaldo, again,
And Ronaldo, yes.
say what you want. He had missed so many chances, so many crosses
He
up
wasn't
until that
getting
point.
there, yes.
And then there you go. Ramos comes in.
Gonzalo Ramos, one cross and boom.
And a
game over.
fantastic goal.
And not just, okay, I'll say this first of all, before I talk about Gonzalo Ramos' goal. I have to give kudos to Roberto Martinez. I'm one of his biggest critics. I think he wasted Belgium's golden generation of Kevin De Bruyne and Thibaut Courtois and Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
And Dries Mertens, I think he wasted them. And I thought, even coming to this tournament, I still think he might waste Portugal's golden generation.
Yeah.
But on the day, he made a ballsy, gutsy decision because before he took Ronaldo off, Portugal was being overrun in the middle because they had one man less in the middle because Ronaldo doesn't track back. That's why when Mateo Kovacic got that ball, he just ran through the middle. So he realized we need another body in the middle to staunch the flow. He brings on Ruben Neves. And I think you saw what happened. The game settled back into a 50-50. So that was ballsy. For me, that was an incredible... I didn't think Martinez had it in him. He brings on... So when he brings on Ruben Neves goes in the middle. Then Gonzalo Ramos plays as the 9, which is where he thrives. The last time he repressed Ronaldo, he scored a hat-trick in Qatar. So when he scores that header, part of the reason why I screamed that Ronaldo would never do that was, one, I'd seen crosses coming in and Ronaldo was not getting to the end of them.
Right.
But also, two, Gonzalo Ramos, that was a tough header. He jumped
It was
in
so good,
between
man. It was so good.
3 defenders.
And to get that much direction and power on it.
And power.
Yeah.
And also but he's jumping in between 3 defenders.
It was so good, man.
I saw
It
the
was so
former
good.
I saw the former Liverpool defender, Croatian defender, talking about it. I think you remember him. He was a great Liverpool defender, kind of chaotic, and he said, I think Croatia gave the ball away because there's no way in my days a striker would have jumped between 3 defenders. One of you has to get to that ball. So it wasn't an easy header as people think it was. And so for me, that's what Gonzalo Ramos gives you. Gonzalo Ramos gives you a target man. Gonzalo Ramos gives you deadly finishing. Gonzalo Ramos gives you the ability to track and press that Ronaldo doesn't. I feel Ronaldo should be doing what Neymar did. I feel Ronaldo should be coming on the last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes against aging, tired defenders.
Yeah, we've said this. Be a talisman player.
Against tired minds. But
be a talisman player. Let's get into a few predictions.
Before we get into the prediction, I just want to talk about this one, and we disagreed, and I don't like when we do a podcast and we don't disagree. The Croatian goal. You called it immediately. You went like it was offside.
Yes.
I disagreed immediately.
Yes.
And I still disagree. The reason I disagree is this. I feel everyone focuses on the sneaker. The ball, was it touched by Matanovic or not?
Yes.
I think they're focusing on the wrong thing. The focus should be on, was Renato Vega trying to make a defensive play? Because if you say it was unintentional, then the Croatian player was offside. Pasaric was offside. But for me, I argue that Renato Vega was making a defensive play. Why?
So let me tell you why I think you lose this argument if you're going to do that. I think by the strict interpretation of the game,
of
the player jumping that close to a ball in an offside way is offside, in my opinion.
Okay.
It is offside.
Okay.
You cannot, this thing of like, did they touch the ball or not is irrelevant when the player is actively trying to play the ball and is this close to playing the ball. You know why? We have to defend them.
Yes.
The whole field has to shift with them. The purpose of the offside rule is to protect the game from an unfair advantage or disadvantage,
I
right?
agree. Yes.
So if a player is jumping to head of the ball and they happen to miss it by a hair, let's say they didn't touch it, how is that not offside? You made an active effort to play the ball, right? You made an active effort. People had to defend you. Because of your positioning, the ball might have been missed by somebody else or somebody got thrown off. The same way if you block the goalkeeper's view and it's offside and offside, you interfered with the play. To me, whether you touched it or not, that is an offside.
Okay, so here's where I disagree with you. For me, if it was a midfielder in that situation, and if Renato Vega hadn't stooped, if it had hit him while he was standing upright, it's unintentional and accidental. Renato Vega stoops. I've played as a defender. Listen,
I'm
saying I've played as a defender.
but Joe.
Some people are saying he was ducking. A defender stoops to head the ball. So let me ask you, if I'm a defender, let me ask you this.
Joe,
If
I'm
that
saying,
ball, if that ball
I'm
had
saying
hit,
yours, you're measuring the wrong part of
no,
time.
I'm saying they focused on the wrong thing. They focused on Matanovic. They should focus on Renato
No, they
Vega.
can't though. They
If
can't.
Renato Vega, okay, let me ask you.
It's like a mathematical equation.
Okay.
If.
Okay, Trevor, let me ask you.
So let's start with the
Okay,
first
okay,
thing.
yes, okay, let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a simple
Okay.
question. Simple question. Did the first man try to play the ball in an offside position?
If he, yes.
Did
yes,
he or did he
yes.
not?
If Renato Vega doesn't touch it,
No,
yes.
no. The first man.
No, Matanovic
the man who
wasn't.
jumps.
He wasn't in offside. He wasn't offside. Matanovic wasn't offside. The offside player is Pasaric behind. Because when Matanovic touches the ball,
Oh yeah, okay. So you're
Pasaric,
saying if he doesn't touch it on the other side?
yeah, no, so it's a goal. Because Pasaric
No,
was onside. No, Pasaric was on. Pasaric,
but he wasn't playing it.
No, listen. So when the ball comes,
No, but he wasn't playing it.
When the ball comes in, Pasaric is onside. When Matanovic touches it with the hair, Pasaric is offside. But then the ball hits Renato Vega. So the reason I think Renato Vega was making a defensive play and it was intentional is because if that ball hits Renato Vega on the forehead and goes out and goes back, it's a defensive clearance. But he screwed up his head and the ball hit him on the top of his head, went to Pasaric. That's why for me I'm going like they focused on the wrong play. The right play is Renato Vega.
I think those things are all offside to me. I think they've made the offside rule too complicated.
Too complicated. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think they've made it too complicated.
Can we talk about the African teams, please? Because many of my friends were traumatized.
By whom?
By the way African teams crashed out. Senegal, African teams kept crashing out with 10 minutes to go. They were winning most of their games with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And most of my friends, because I picked, when we made the predictions, I got all the African teams right. I said Egypt and Morocco were progressing.
Yes.
I said the rest were going to be dumped out. And so my friends were asking me, why did I do that? And also part of the reason why I wasn't heartbroken when African teams lost out. It's because I've been traumatized enough by African teams. In fact, Trevor, I shouldn't be holding this podcast in a chair. I should be on a couch because I'm going to trauma dump on you. So I've watched enough football to know that when it comes to the knockouts, African teams always find a way. For some reason, it could be structural, it could be psychological, I don't know what's happening. But African teams always find a way. And unfortunately, mostly black African teams find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It started when I was a wee lad. I was really young. I think I was around 5, 6. I remember Cameroon, 1990 World Cup. I remember my father and my uncles and the whole village going crazy when Cameroon with 9 men beat Diego Maradona's Argentina in the opening game.
Yeah.
And this was the Cameroon team
that's
of
when we thought the world thought it was coming.
Pele in 1977 said an African team is going to win the World Cup by the year 2000. In 1990, we all believed. I remember I was young, and I think maybe it's not just my memory, it's also because I've watched like clips and afterwards. I remember when Mambik scored that header, because that team was good. It had Roger Milla, Mambik, Cyril Makanaki, Thomas Sinkono, all these great players. When they beat Argentina with 9 men, we went like, they're going to win it. They topped their group. They beat Romania 2-1, Roger Milla scoring a double. I remember the village going crazy. I was young, but I think that's when I fell in love with this game. They went into the knockout round of 16, beat Colombia. Roger Milla, I remember clearly watching Roger Milla steal that ball from Rene Higuita, scoring, going the corner flag.
And doing his little
just
dance.
doing the dance, yes. And we went like, this is it. They played England. Cameroon was 8 minutes away from winning it. They conceded the penalty. Gary Lineker scores, goes into extra time. Gary Lineker scores another penalty. Cameroon out. I remember the way the village felt after that.
Nigeria?
1994, Nigeria, a famous Nigerian team, Peter Rufai and Rashid Yakin, Samson Siasia. That was Emmanuel Ramoniki, Daniel Amokachi, incredible Nigerian team that won the Nations Cup.
Yep.
They won the high.
Yep.
Everyone thought this is it. They go, win their group again.
Yep.
Win their group again, Trevor. They reach the round of 16, play Italy. They are winning with, I think, 2 minutes to go. Roberto Baggio scores a goal. Extra time, Roberto Baggio scores again. They are out. I go like, okay, maybe that was bad luck. 1998, Nigerian team, same Nigerian team, now even better because they had Jeji Okocha, Nwanko Kanu, a better team. They humiliate Spain in the opening game, winning 3-2. Famous goal by Olise, long ranger, winning that. I remember I was in high school and I went like, this is it. This is the team. Trevor, round of 16, because they had played so well, they were given Denmark. Everyone thought this is a walkover. Denmark beat Nigeria 4-1. The game was over by the 15th minute. And I went like, you know what? I think I'm done. But then, because football keeps giving you hope, 2002, Senegal, First game against France, they win 1-0. Papa Bouba Diop, great team with Khalilou Fadiga, El Hadji Diouf, Salif Diao of Liverpool, incredible team. They beat Zidane wasn't playing, but they still beat France, who are the world champions. We go like, this is it. They go on, defeat Denmark. We are like, this is it. They play Turkey. Now we are just playing for an African team to reach the semifinals. They meet Turkey. Turkey beats them. Last minute goal by Ilan Manses.
Yeah, Ghana against Uruguay.
That's the one that
they missed the penalty.
Bro, that's the one that broke my heart.
Yeah, they missed the penalty.
That's the
2010
first time,
World Cup.
That's the first time that every African got really traumatized by an African team. Because Ghana get a penalty. Suarez did what Suarez had to do.
Yeah, but they had the penalty.
Trevor, I was watching that game. I was in South Africa as part of a delegation of African journalists who were like picked by Reuters to come and cover that game. I was watching it with my African friends. Ghana get the penalty with a minute to go. And Asamoah Gyan steps up, and I tell my African journalist friends, I tell them he's going to miss. Then they go like, no, I tell them, guys, president, he's going to miss. I've watched enough games. He's going to miss. He steps up, hits that ball against the crossbar. Ghana loses later. That's the first time I realized, soccer fans hate the bitter truth. Because my friends
So why do you think this? Why do you think this happens to African teams?
I don't know, man. I can't place. I don't know whether it's structural or psychological.
Witchcraft.
I don't know what it happened.
Why don't you look at witchcraft, Joe?
White people. White people watch witchcraft never works on us. What are you talking about?
Why are you ignoring the elephant in the room, Joe?
No, but I remember that day because no one asked me, how did you know? Why? People were they felt like I was trolling them. They went like, why did you have to say it? People felt like I had made him miss. And then
witchcraft.
And then you saw what happened in 2014 as well. You saw what happened. Algeria and Nigeria both make it, and they both lose. Both of them lose with like 2 minutes to go in their matches. For me, and so that's why when you asked me last week which team is going to make it through, I was so sure all the Black African teams would let us down and lose in heartbreaking fashion. And I was only sure Morocco and Egypt would go through. Because Morocco showed me in 2022 that they don't have the psychological mental block. They will win games. And I think you saw them against the Netherlands. Morocco against the Netherlands, another team, I'm sorry to say, but I think another African team would have collapsed. Morocco didn't. Netherlands took the lead.
Yeah, they did.
And Morocco went like, okay, the Moroccan, first of all, let's just give, for me, my man of the week, and I know the Cape Verde coach is amazing, but my coach of the week, Mohamed Ouabi, the coach of Morocco, he was parachuted in with 3 months to go to handle this team in the World Cup because he helped Morocco win the Under-20 World Cup just in last year. He was parachuted in and he has made this team his own. Against the Netherlands, when Gakpo scored with just 14 minutes to go.
No, I mean, he played it.
He brought on 3 20-year-olds, Trevor. He didn't bring on. He had El Kabi.
No, he played it. He had Amrabat. Completely, I'm with you.
He brought on 321. Trevor, the amount of bravery it takes to bring on 3 20-year-olds. Morabat, who are the others? Gesami Hassan and Tabli. One of them ended up taking a penalty. A 20-year-old stood up and took a penalty and he scored it. For me, that takes a certain amount of mental and psychological bravery. And that's why I'm backing Morocco to go, not to go all the way because I think they are 4 years too short. I think they'll win when they host it.
Yeah.
I think they're going
You don't think they're going to beat France?
No, I think they'll fall short. I think they'll fall short this year. But they have such a young cracks. They have such a young core. Like when you look at their midfield, we've been raving about Ayub Boadi. Right?
And yet, there's other stars that have shown
I'll tell you
in that
this,
midfield.
Every midfielder in Morocco has stepped up. Ayub Boadi was amazing against Brazil. But then when I watched Netherlands, I think El Anoui is even a better midfielder. I think he should be playing for Barcelona. He's incredible. I haven't seen a midfielder break up play and launch attacks like that since Xavi. And then in the last game, guess who stepped up against Canada? Onahi. Every midfielder is stepping up. Brahim has 4 assists. Every midfielder is stepping up. El Kanaus, who plays on the left, he's incredible, tracking back all the time. So for me, I think this Moroccan team has something. It has like a resilience to it, but I think they're too short. But I think they're winning in 2030.
There's only one prediction I'm looking for here, Joe. USA, Belgium.
I think
because
Belgium,
this was the game.
I think Belgium is going to win.
You think Belgium's winning?
Belgium's going to. I think USA has run its course. I think all the host countries.
What has Belgium shown you that makes you think they're going to win?
They've shown me that they have character.
You think Team USA doesn't have character?
My friend, they came back and beat Senegal. That was character. Yuri Tillmans.
No, my friend, you're going to say that they've shown that they have character.
I think.
Okay. When they came back against teams that you say crumble consistently.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
What has Team USA shown you that doesn't say character?
Okay, let me explain it. So I feel like in tournaments.
So I'll tell you.
No. Let me first.
So here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think if Team USA runs them ragged in the first 45, Team USA wins the game. I think Team USA has to take the game away from Belgium early because I think Belgium is relying on their prowess as a footballing like nation, or rather the individual players like Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, Trossard, Tielemans, etc. But I don't think that they have the legs nor the stamina to win the game. But if the USA lets them play the game for enough time, I think that's why they'll lose.
The reason I disagree with you is I think you're judging Belgium on how they've been playing this tournament.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's exactly how I judge them.
I think.
That's exactly how I judge them.
And you're right. But I think where you're slightly wrong is the result against Senegal changes everything. Because in tournament,
that's interesting.
Yes, in tournament football,
you think that's given them the turn?
In tournament football, you need a moment that trauma bonds you.
Okay.
For the team to come out.
Yeah, you're a big fan of trauma bonding.
So for Argentina, it was the loss to Saudi Arabia.
And now you think it's Cape Verde for Argentina?
Cape Verde. So Argentina,
and now for Belgium,
yes,
it was the...
You need that thing where you go like, yo, we've been forged in fire.
Okay.
We've gone
and then so for Morocco, it was the Netherlands?
Yes.
For France, it's Paraguay?
Yes.
Okay.
Paraguay, yeah.
Okay.
So for you to win a tournament, you can't just stroll through the tournament.
You got to have your rocky moments.
Yes, you're going to face a setback at some point, and whether you stand up or not, that's what tests you. So for me, I think Belgium, that moment, remember they were fighting before that moment.
Yeah.
That moment bonded them as brothers, and also makes you believe that, hey, we are invincible. The Knicks, let's go back to basket, baby. The Knicks, when they won that game when OG Anunoby came in and bam,
the tip-in.
You can't come back. Like there's something that makes to it, that gives to it him. There's a certain invincibility. Okay. So for me, I think Argentina.
We'll see what happens.
Argentina needed it against.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. I mean, look, it's one of those games. I don't know who's going to win. It's not an obvious one, but I just wonder if I think having the president and the nation and Balogun and like having that whole thing behind you. And I wonder if Belgium feels a little hard done by. Does it work against them? It's gonna be an interesting one. But let's wrap it there. Let's wrap it there and go watch a game.
I think the hosts, their race is run. Mexico, the US, their race is run.
Okay, let's watch the games and we'll see.
I think Hurricane is going to kill Mexico today because they're going to try to play attacking football when they should be sitting back.
Then let's watch the game.
It's going to be fun. It's always fun.
This has been fun, my friend.
It's always fun.
Let's see how the games play out. This segment is brought to you by Febreze. You know what's funny about soccer's growth in America? Everybody talks about the stadiums, the fans, the television audiences, the stars coming over to play here, but nobody talks about the smell. Think about it. More kids are playing soccer. More adults are playing soccer. More leagues, more tournaments, more gear. And every piece of that gear eventually ends up in a room exactly like this one, which is why today we're doing an official smell draft. That's right. With the overall pick in the draft of smells, I am taking soccer cleats. No hesitation. Those things spend 90 minutes running through sweat, grass, mud, rain, sunshine, and occasionally somebody else's foot. Joe, what are you taking for the second pick?
Oh, with the second pick, hands down, I'll take the gear bag. Because the gear bag isn't just one smell. It's an entire ecosystem.
Oh, actually, that's a good pick. I was hoping you wouldn't go with the gear bag. For the third pick, I'm going with the back seat of the car after practice. Yeah, parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You open the door, and immediately you realize the game has followed everybody home. Honestly, that's why this room is so confusing. Every instinct tells me that a professional boot room should smell terrible. This should be the place where we experience one of the strongest home field advantages of sports. And yet somehow, it smells fresh. That's because Febreze fabric is built for the things you can't throw in the wash. The cleats, the bags, the car seats, all the places where the game rarely leaves its mark. If your soccer gear is starting to smell like its own locker room, it's time for Febreze fabric. It doesn't just mask odors, it helps fight them. Oh yeah! Find Febreze fabric at Walmart. Man, you nailed that spray. That was amazing. You see how fresh it got in this room? Thank you so much for watching the episode. If you enjoyed it, pass it on to a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, pass it on to your friend still. Let them suffer for a change. And don't forget to engage with us in the comments. If you want to suggest a guest, maybe there's questions you want, maybe there's ideas that you have, you can chat to us. We will read through the comments and we'll get into it. Either way, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for hanging out with us on What Now? And remember, we do this for you, so we would like to hear from you. Till next time, thank you. Thanks again to Febreze for sponsoring this episode. Febreze is the official odor fighter of Major League Soccer. That's the point. Febreze fabric is for everything the game touches that the washing machine can't. You're not changing anything. It was already fresh after the first spray. I feel like you're just having fun with the bottle now.
I just have too much.
No one man should have all that power.